getting to the point where, well, I've been there, but I just like coffee. Like it's not
Yeah.
like the taste of coffee. I don't crave the caffeine. I just I just want a cup of coffee. So
Yeah.
I had to start buying decaf. So
Oh,
I treat decaf as like my hot chocolate, but hot chocolate has way too much sugar. So
that's smart.
I drink a cup of decaf like right now
Yeah.
with a little bit of creamer.
That's smart. So that's probably where I've been getting in trouble. My
S-
sleep is normally good, but the past few
See what
days
I'm
has
saying,
been terrible.
bro? Decaf,
Um,
same
and
thing.
I've been having, because it's like, yeah, I smell it. And I'm just, I mean, it's almost a little bit fiendish to be real with you, but,
Listen, that's one of
you
the
know,
best part of the days.
we all got a little addiction. I mean, I'm glad the one I got is legal. That's a big difference. But then I was like, all right, well, it's 6. I mean, folks, y'all gonna hear this after the game, but I'm like, all right, the game don't start till 8, which means it probably don't go off till 11. And I fully expect this to be 38-35, so it probably won't go off until midnight. Um, you know, dear Cowboys Lions. And so I'm like, all right, cool, I can do another cup because I ain't getting to bed for another 6 hours. So
True, because I'm at the point where I have to look at the lineup. Like if I turn it on, I feel like I have to finish it.
yeah.
Like tonight should be a good game, so I'm like I may turn it on. So I'm already expecting to be up around midnight.
Yeah, I mean this is a big one. I mean, I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad both these
Both
teams are
teams.
actually decent.
I'm a
Um,
Cowboy hater just because it's fun, but I don't really hate them. It's just fun to troll them. But yeah, it's this is who they should have been. Really.
the
I
whole
don't get it.
year. Yeah,
The past how many years?
yeah.
This is how they should look every week.
I mean, the crazy thing is like one. I'm glad both the teams that always play on Thanksgiving are actually decent. Because we had a smooth 2 decade stretch, really three, really the whole history. Honestly, I mean, they had a
Oh,
few
history.
spotty years here and there. Torah was like, all right, we got to watch these terrible guys at 12:30
Yep.
on Thanksgiving, and then the Cowboys were hit or miss. But two, it's like people always talk about Cowboy hate, and you're right. They haven't been good.
Mm-mm.
Like really, there are people who are 30 who have no recollection of the Cowboys actually being a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
Listen,
Like,
I'm 36, and I don't. I want to say I don't have recollection because I'm a football fan. But what was their last one? 95.
the last conference title game was '95. Yeah,
Like I was 6.
yeah. And like we
So
know that by
like
way of like being football heads,
that's
but
what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. If you don't just sit and watch NFL films, like you've never, your first exposure to that was probably that rose painted Netflix documentary on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys that came out
That was good.
in the summertime. It was good, but
I,
I,
I
I had
need I need more of those.
oh they got an Elway one coming out.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
December 22nd on the. I don't. That's my guy.
That's your
Um,
guy.
I mess with some John Elway, man.
I
Now,
need a New England one.
you gotta wait a little bit longer for that.
I know. I'm just
Them
saying. I just
secrets, man.
the dynasties. I need them. I just yeah.
Did you see the one on Apple TV with New England?
uh-uh.
There's one on
I'm not a
Apple's.
big I forget Apple TV exists. I'm not gonna
Yeah, me too. There's nothing on.
lie.
They are
but
not our target audience, or we're not their
but
target audience.
from what I've heard, like the Twitter space and all of that, or X, whatever you want to call it, they have some hidden gems as far as series. They have some good series, but they just don't promote it well.
They don't. That's that's what happens when you have so much money and you got monopolies. Like you can have whole streaming services where you create original content and just don't market it, and it's fine. It just sits over here. Um, I've watched a few things. I watched Masters of the Air on there. That was fire. That Severance show though, I hate that show.
I
Like
heard
I
it was
get
good, so I don't
that
know.
show is terrible. I gave that show I mean, you might like it. I don't know. To me, it was just like 50 minutes of people running around and them trying to add suspense to things that aren't at all suspenseful. And then for the final 5 or 6 minutes, actually making stuff happen that makes you want to click next episode. But that's my
Mm.
full. I gave the whole first season an opportunity. I even did the first episode of the second season. Then I was like, all right, man, you got it. I'm good. I'm all the way out on this. I can't be wasting time like this. They just took like 9 hours of my life. But hey, you might like it. So You know,
Give it a shot, maybe one day.
there you go. Speaking of people that folks like, or things that people like or don't like, or people that folks don't like or dislike. Can you talk, Fred? You need more coffee. Um, I I don't even know where to start with Lane Kiffin. Um, y'all know what
See, we
happened.
haven't talked about this, and I'm
We haven't
glad because
talked about it at all.
I want to know, like, I don't want to ask like, do you like him, but like, what are your thoughts about him as a not as a man? I don't, we judge people about what they do, like as a coach, because I don't
Yeah,
care. I don't care like when as far as athletics, unless you're a nasty man. I don't care what you do in your personal life.
yeah,
Like, I'm just here to watch you play or coach. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
yeah. We're the same way in that regard. Like I don't know anything about these guys' personal lives. Like, and it's not important or relevant for me. I mean, I do know that Lane Kiffin posts probably like a 17-year-old girl does, and I only know that because I think one of my nieces had mentioned it the other
Yeah,
day because I was talking about Lane Kiffin, and then I actually saw a podcast with Spencer Hall and Bomani, and Spence had mentioned that
okay,
Lane
I
posts
like
like a
that.
teenager. So I'm like, cool. I was tempted to be like, do you like or dislike Lane? I don't think anybody likes Lane Kiffin. Um, so I think that's like the wrong calculus to come to. Like, I'm not even sure his wife and his kids like him. I'm not even sure his daughter likes him. Because she was dating a guy, she was dating LSU's
Yeah,
best defensive player, uh, you know, this whole time, and then did a hard launch the week that they played Mississippi. Um,
that's crazy.
so it's this mixture of like, do the people in your life actually like you, plus like you're just a really messy drama queen. I have torn mixed feelings about Lane Kiffin. I am not people like Bomani Jones who just hates that guy. At the same time, I'll go out. The positives is like everybody is vanilla and stale and doesn't bring much flair and character. Um, that is just starting to become like when people write history books on this decade, like that's going to be what folks talk about, right? In the same way the 60s were transformative, the 90s brought so much change in culture across music and sports and art and everything else. Like if we don't make a massive shift these last 4 years, like 2020s are going to be remembered for you mups was like boring and
Yeah,
lame and all the same and all vanilla. And like you got a lot of critiques of Lane Kiffin that are valid. He ain't boring, he ain't vanilla, and he ain't trying to act like anybody else other than Lane Kiffin. At a time where like that's kind of desperately needed, and where all these guys try to act the same and be buttoned up and answer all questions the same way,
hmm
I kind of like that, if that makes sense. Um, do I think Lane is like the kind of guy who I want to hang out with, play 18 holes, and drink 4 beers with? Absolutely not. Like we wouldn't get along for longer than 5 minutes. Um, from a football coach standpoint, though, Lane is the kind of guy who I put it to you this way: I don't think it was. I don't think it's a good fit. When it crashes and burns in Baton Rouge, it's gonna crash and burn hard. Um, but at the same time, it could crash and burn in 2 years in scandal. It could crash and burn in 8 years and two national titles later. We know it's going to crash and burn, but the floor is really high and the ceiling is really low. And I think that's been the case with him every place he's been. He left Tennessee in the middle of the night in disgrace. Al Davis fired him in disgrace. You know, uh, Nick Saban just told him pack your bags to get the hell out of here because you're too focused on your new job to be able to help us win a national title. So he kind of left that job in disgrace. And now he's leaving Ole Miss in disgrace. And he didn't have to do any of this. Like I'm gonna say his last part, and I'll shut up. Like the thing I didn't really understand is like this whole let him coach his players and the calendar and all this other stuff. I'm just like bro, you're not the. This isn't the only big time quote unquote job to open up. Number one, and number two, this is a choice that you are making, right? Like these guys are gonna keep getting fired at this ridiculous clip until something changes. Who's to say next year, Florida State is not LSU job. Um, but who's to say that, other big opportunities don't open up? I don't know. Is LSU a top 10 job? Yes. We talked about this all the time, right?
yeah.
If you just recruit Louisiana, and you can probably still compete for a national title. Um,
hmm
But the way he's gone about it has shown that at every step of the way, he's going to burn bridges. He's going to leave in disgrace. He's not going to leave the place better than he found it. And as long as LSU is okay with that, that's fine. Now, the variable outcomes here are two different spectrums. Best of luck to y'all. But that fits LSU because they're a chaotic mess in and of itself.
So, do I like Lane? Like, when I say do I like a coach, I'm thinking I just had a son. Would I want my son to play for this guy?
Okay.
So
Well, I didn't answer that.
I have a different perspective, and as a coach, I'm kind of thinking the same way. But would I want? Will he be my first option? No. What I do like about Lane, like minus the X's and O's, as far as like I do like that he's different. Like you said, a lot of these coaches are vanilla. They give vanilla answers. Like he's different in that aspect. He kind of like tells you exactly what he's thinking. So, however he feels, if he talks about the portal. I remember one interview, um, maybe it was midweek or post game. It was the LSU. It was like a last year or a couple years ago. They asked him about one of the LSU players or something like that, and he was like, no, they were talking about NIL, and he was like, 500 grand basically gets you half of an LSU DB. So that's something no other coach is saying, but it's like he recognizes the landscape of college football. Like you got to pay these players if you want to compete. Now he's competing at Ole Miss. They're 11-1, very good. Like by any standard, Ole Miss standard, UGA, whoever, that's a very good season. But he knew that I never want to say it wasn't about the money because, bro, you getting paid a lot of money.
Oh, it's always about the money.
Yeah, it is about the money. But to take a jump from Ole Miss to LSU, in my mind, if he truly wanted to stay at Ole Miss could have matched that money. But as far as the football landscape, you're not getting top 5 recruiting classes at Ole Miss unless you're, Hugh Freeze and doing all that other stuff. So I understand why he left Ole Miss. How he left, like you said, bro, you could have told. This is my thing. If LSU really wanted you, if any one of these big time schools wants you, and they don't want to put it like publicly, they can go through back channels and all of that. As soon as they fired Brian Kelly, they could have went to LSU, Lane Kiffin's agent. Hey, we're targeting you. We don't want to make it well known. Keep this between us. We can negotiate behind the scenes. We'll let you finish out the season so there's no distractions. Bam. Like, it could have happened that way. Something probably would have leaked, but it wouldn't have been as public. Like, they could have went about it a different way. In his mind, he knew it was a chance. I didn't think he was ever going to Florida. But in his mind, okay, LSU is a very attractive job. I do want to finish the season with my guys because we can make history here. He already made history at Ole Miss. He's probably gotten them. Let's say they were going to be outside of the top 4, so they would have hosted a home game, probably won a playoff game. He would have the greatest season in Ole Miss history. They weren't
by far.
They weren't going to win a national championship, but could he win a playoff game? Can he win 2? Possibly.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to win a national championship, and so he knew. I don't blame him. Go to LSU. It's hard to pass up. Like, it's just hard to pass up. You can't, because you don't want to look back and say, man, I could have done this. Now, at Ole Miss, he could have stayed there for 25 years. They would have never fired him because he would have won 10 games a year.
Yeah, man.
So, in retrospect, like, if he was, I don't know how old Lane is. I don't think he's 50, is he?
I think he's right at 50. I think
he's right at 50.
Yeah.
If he was an older coach, he's staying at Ole Miss and riding that sunset. But he started so young, so he has so many years under his belt. It's like, man, I just got to keep going. I got to keep going. He's been at USC. He's been at Tennessee. He's been to the NFL. Now he's at LSU. there's no bigger job that's going to open as far as, there's an Alabama job, there's the Georgia job, Michigan, Ohio State. I'm thinking jobs that are bigger than LSU. You're
Yeah, ain't
not
that
getting
many.
that much. It's not many as far as the resources, the conference you're in, and your ability to win national championships and recruit national talent. So I get it from his standpoint, like he has to do this. I don't think there was a right way. Because you can tell me, man, he wanted to finish the season with his guys, but still go to LSU. I don't blame him. Man, he took the LSU job because he knew Ole Miss basically this was their ceiling. I don't blame him then. So it's
Yeah,
like so many variables. It's like somebody was going to be upset. I don't think there was a wrong decision. I don't think there was a like I don't know how else he could have done it other than like I said, as soon as LSU fired Brian Kelly, they went through back channels and kind of did it a little bit more privately. But I just no one was going to be happy. Ole Miss was never going to be happy no matter what. It just looks bad now, but I truly believe like he wanted to finish his job, but you're just saying, hey, I'm about to finish with an old SEC West rival.
you can't do that.
You can't do it.
And he knew that
I
was never on the table, though.
He knew it wasn't, but I truly believe he wanted to. So I don't blame him for wanting to. I don't blame
Yeah,
Ole Miss for saying, "Nah, bro, you can't do this." So it's like it's just it. I don't know. There's no right or wrong. It was no right way to do this. If he was leaving, there was just no right way to do it.
yeah. I, I, I honestly, if we rephrase it and we're like, oh, would you want your son to play for Lane Kiffin? Absolutely not. For me, um, and innovative offensive mind, yes, brilliant in that department, and he at least has shown the ability to be able to like show up and have a
Mm-hmm.
competent defense, in ways that some other coaches just have not come around to. We won't drop names yet because we'll talk about him a little bit later, but I, one, if you were going to leave, one, I thought Florida was a much better fit. Right? And this
Better
is
fit or better job?
better fit, not a better
I
job.
think so too.
No,
I think Florida was a better fit for him, but not the better job.
much better fit, not a better job. You talk about jobs in terms of college football, even in this new world of NIL, and we like to say, oh, so many things have changed and all this other stuff, but so many things have changed. The blue bloods in this sport and in college basketball, for that matter, are going to be the blue bloods in this sport, and the money is just going to make that even more the case, right?
Yeah.
Like now, they're not going to get as many guys concentrated anymore as you can. So, like, the era of Nick Saban and what I don't know 6 and 12 years or whatever, how many national championships it was.
That's done.
I'm not gonna say that's never gonna happen again, but it's probably never gonna happen again. And the most fundamental reason why that's not gonna happen is you got to win what 4 games to win a national title or three if you get a bye,
Three. If you
right?
get a
You got to
bye,
win
yeah,
three,
at
so
least three.
you're just not doing that as much. Like you get more injury variants, you get like you get your quarterback or your edge rusher getting food poisoning and like random life stuff when you got to
Yeah.
win 3 games instead of one. That's just it's not gonna happen. That being said, I used to live in New Orleans in Southeast Louisiana. So I have a lot of people who I know have interacted with in my life who went to LSU, love LSU football. And when I say it's chaos, that's not hyperbolic, and that's not me like throwing that out there. I think they know it's chaos, and they know who and what they are, and they also know that there's like fertile football ground in Louisiana, and that any major college football program within that state, and there's only one, should always be competitive and should always be competing for national titles. So I get that. I think my perspective with him was a standpoint of I think it was him, and I get it. I agree with you. Like, did he want to stay and coach them through the playoff? Yes, but like also like I want $50 million, and I just with with my current circumstances, like that's just not the case. Like if it was even if he was leaving for somewhere like Notre Dame, honestly, I think there's a chance that Keith Carter, Ole Miss athletic director, actually considers that. If he's going anywhere except within the
Yeah.
conference,
Yeah. 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 I
Keith
didn't think
Carter
about
is
it like
like
that.
Keith Carter's like, yeah, that we might be able to make that work. All right, if
There's a
he's going,
direct rival.
that's a direct rival in a state that borders
Yeah.
you. Like you all these folks know each other, right? Like you're in the same conference with them. Like you vacation in the same spots. You got to go to all these conferences and see these folks. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to all these academic and sports things and seeing these people. You know, when Keith Carter has to travel for NCAA tournament for baseball, basketball, whatever. Like these are like y'all are always seeing one another. I think if it's anybody outside the conference, yeah, cool, that's a possibility. But like, you just gonna go over there and try to poach our players. We can't really have that. Like, you can't be in this building, bro. Like, you got to go. That being said, and I think this is one of the things that is kind of going to keep coming up with college football, and it's kind of sad because it's one of the things that kind of, at least for people our age, made it what it was. Is you had coaches who stayed in the same place for 3-4 decades, right?
So they got
Your
fired.
Bobby Bowden, your Frank Beamer, your Bo Schembechler, your Woody Hayes. Like you can just go down the list. Even at lower tier programs, like back in the day, I just dropped that line. But anyway, like mid tier programs knew who they were. Like Arkansas knew what Arkansas football was.
Yeah.
Right, you're gonna go a decade. You'll catch lightning in a bottle 1 or 2 years every decade. You'll win 10 games. You might have a Heisman winner, and you'll play for a conference title. And if things break right, you might get a shot at a national title. That is what 80% of programs are, and nobody has that realistic expectation anymore.
Nope.
But the thing with, but anyway, going back to Lane was just like, you could have gone about this better.
Yep.
And I think like this is a good sort of microcosm of everything this sport now is, because I will at least give the old heads who didn't want to pay these guys and all this other stuff their sort of compliments, for lack of a better term, is that like coaches didn't jump around like this in the 80s and 90s. Now the calendar was different, right? A lot of things were different. I get it, right? But them guys stayed at them jobs for 20, 25, 30 years. And yeah, were they exploiting the kids and they weren't getting paid and a lot of them being, so yes. But there was at least some sort of trade-off. And now it's just like, all right, well, where's the bag? When is the next opportunity that's bigger and better? Cool, we're just going to follow through on that. I think the biggest thing with Lane is just like, I'll sort of wrap it up with this, but when I saw him on the tarmac talking to Marty Smith and all this other stuff after he had already gone inside the papers, and he started using the whole, the kids wanted me to coach them through the playoff and all this other stuff. And I'm just
saving face. Just you gone, bro.
You gone.
You're
Just be gone.
Whatever you say in that moment does not even matter. You're gone. So just you could have left it at that. Now you look like a douchebag.
Now you look like the snake that you actually are. And so, the biggest look, Ole Miss is giving it to Pete Golding. Hey, congratulations, brother. I don't know if he's ready to take on this kind of meat grinder of a job in the SEC. I wish him the best. And now Lane is on to LSU. The funny thing is, though, LSU goes to Ole Miss next year and at Tennessee. So 7:30 p.m. on ABC. I'm sure Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit will be there for both of those.
Definitely. It's going to be game day.
It's going to be game day in that one. Hopefully that's like an SEC opener. Give me that like third week of the season. LSU at Ole Miss. Come on, schedule. Oh, the schedule already dropped. Never mind. I'm tripping. Anyway, speaking of coaches, Penn State's in shambles. They fired their coach first.
I love it.
Bro, I love it too.
And I know another nasty man was coaching them for a long time. When did Penn State become who they think they are? Am I tripping?
No. As a matter of fact, like the thing,
I haven't gone like down the record books and look at the seasons and stuff like that, but they're clear at least third in that conference, like historically. It's like,
always have,
and it probably hasn't always been like that. I'm pretty sure another team has, been third or whatever. But so you're talking about third in your conference, and I'm just looking at the SEC, like how many jobs are better than that job, and like who do they think they are? Your guy just took you to the semifinals the previous year. Just.
And was legitimately one play away from.
One play away. He's on a 3-game skid. Cool. Yeah. Just count it as a down year. He just took you to the semifinal, and you fired him. He's had y'all relevant top 10 recruiting classes, and your only beef with him is he can't beat the most talented team in the country, and he can't beat the Michigan Wolverines. That's your only beef with him.
That's your only beef.
That's crazy.
That's your only beef.
But they're getting what they deserve right now.
I think they are in for a long walk through the wilderness. Like you better be careful what you ask for. First of all, I've been to State College. All right, that place is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a great place to go if you're 18, 19, 20 years old and to play football and so on and
It's
so
on my bucket list of games or stadiums.
Oh, amazing atmosphere.
Um,
But that joke about Pennsylvania's Pittsburgh and Philadelphia or Alabama in between, that is very true. Now it's a scenic, route. You get to, depending on where you're coming from, go through the Poconos and all other stuff. But nobody's there, nothing's there. And if you're gonna go play college football in the middle of nowhere, you probably want to do it somewhere where it doesn't snow, rather than do it up there. And also, it's just the thing. The thing with the Big Ten is like Ohio State, for my money, is probably the best job in college football.
Absolutely.
From a facility standpoint, from a talent production standpoint, Ohio and the surrounding areas still just keep churning out talent with not a whole lot of competition in that area. Yeah, and it's just like I don't think Ryan Day is an especially great coach. Like I don't think anything spectacular about him.
Have to be.
Exactly. Like he just has to be just regular. Just be mediocre, and you're gonna compete for national titles at Ohio
Keep
State.
hiring great assistants who can recruit, and you just manage them all. He
That's
has
it.
the best job. Like he is chilling.
He's chilling, make a ton of money, and might
And he's in
actually
the
win
Big
another
Ten.
national title.
So
Yeah.
you literally, before Penn State did what they did, you were looking at two teams. Indiana now, but
But the thing, see, they are living off of four national titles. I don't really count the first two, 1911 and 1912. Anything before the Depression, I don't really take into account. All right, so they struck lightning in a bottle in 1982 and 1986. They did both those things as an independent. They haven't legitimately competed for a national title since I think maybe 1994 as a member of the Big Ten. They might have been one of those. Well, I mean, since before last year. And then obviously they went through this whole period of being the talk of the entire country, and having to rebuild a program from the ground up, which Bill O'Brien did a great job of 2 years. James Franklin went 7-6 his first 2 years, and then just sort of catapulted up. There's not any. I don't think there's any country, and there's no program in the country not in the SEC and not probably named Oregon that can, or Michigan, that can compete with Ohio State on an annual basis. And if those are the two teams you have to compare yourself to, I think you're in a good spot. Which makes what Penn State did even crazier is that now we live in an era to where you can lose both those games every year and still play for a national title.
That's what that's.
If anything, I would have kind of understood this if they did it 4 or 5 years ago. Because all right, you got to be in the top 4. Now they could go 10-2. If there are just certain programs that if they go 10-2, they are going to make the playoff of 12 teams every year. Notre Dame is one of them. We'll talk about that later. It doesn't matter that they lost to Miami. They're going to be in. The Notre Dame, Alabama, if you go 10-2, you're getting in. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. There are a handful of teams that, all right, you go into the season now knowing you can lose 2 games.
Yep.
And they were one of them.
Yep.
And so now, we went on a 3-game losing streak. And now look, the UCLA loss is one of the worst regular season losses in the history of college football. Yes. I'll give you that. But you had enough of a track record with this guy to know that, all right, this is a blip. For the most part, we're going to beat the teams that we should. And when we strike lightning in a bottle once a decade and beat Ohio State, great. They didn't beat either one of those teams last year. And he almost had a chance to play him again in the national title game. Yep. And so now everybody else got a coach except for them. And today was signing day. And I think they had maybe the 112th. I got to look this up. Let me get this number.
I think it's like 130, something like that. It's nuts. And basically and I don't dislike Penn State, but I just hate, I hate how everything happened. I love that James Franklin, for one, He took a better job. And I say better job because for one
Oh,
of
he
those
said,
recruiting grounds in the area,
yeah,
like he was getting that area anyway to go to PA. So he's recruiting his same area, and he's in the ACC.
yep.
So you can very easily. Florida State should definitely be recruiting higher, but you're in the Miami, Florida State, Clemson. You're in that top four in the conference as far as recruiting.
Already.
There's no divisions, so you very well are in the midst to win the ACC every year and possibly get back into the college football playoff. And you don't have that pressure like you would at a Penn State because what has
Mm-hmm.
Virginia Tech done? You win 9 games at Virginia Tech.
Oh,
Come on,
you're a god.
yeah,
You
you're
win 10
God.
games in a row, they're gonna build a
10
statue of
games? Come on, man.
you.
So, and I expect them to win 8, 9, 10 games
Every
with
year.
a good coach. You got to recruit the quarterback because I don't know what the Drew Allen thing was. Was it just overhype or just coaching? But I just never saw it with him. But you can hit on a quarterback, you're good in that conference. They're good anywhere, but especially in the ACC because it's not the SEC. Everyone is down in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is like in the pack. Miami is, they're the best team in the ACC, but I still don't see them as
That ain't saying
like a
much.
Georgia, Alabama. Then it's a gap, like it is in the SEC. See what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
don't see it like that. They've just beat the teams that they were supposed to beat, and they also lose a few that they're not supposed to. But yeah, I think I love that he just took all those recruits, all those commitments. They flipped to Virginia Tech, and now they have the 25th ranked class, and they were like 110. So all the guys he recruited, he just
Catapulted. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
just brought them with him, and the tables have turned.
Yeah. I love it.
I love it.
And I don't dislike Penn State. There's not actually. I find myself sometimes
I
rooting
was
for
rooting
them
for him.
over the past few years. Yeah, I got no issue with Penn State. I actually they were my preseason number one. I did pick them to win the national title, which a lot of people did, so it's fine. These are some of the schools that have higher ranked recruiting classes according to 247 Sports than Penn State. All right, South Dakota State,
Oh my god, I didn't know they were FBS. Honestly,
Jackson State, Weber State. Shout out Dame Lillard.
we were
West Georgia
no.
has a better recruiting class than Penn State.
That's crazy.
Towson, Idaho State, Howard, UAB, and McNeese. Utah Tech. I didn't even know that was a Division I school. I'm done.
And bro, here's the thing about that. This is the real signing day now.
Yeah.
Like in 2 months, that's not the real one anymore.
Nah, it's a wrap.
So, and the transfer portal hasn't opened. So you're looking at, signing. I don't know how many people do they have in the class? 5,
2.
2. So you're bringing in 2 high school recruits. You're gonna lose at least 30 guys
At least.
to the draft plus to the portal. So your entire not draft class, but recruiting class is going to be the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's dependent on whatever coach you get. Some guys are calm just because, it's Penn State. They're going to, they're going to want to play in the Big Ten, but you're not going to be able to compete, man. You're not.
Yeah.
And they fired him in October.
They fired him in October. You were the first people to fire your coach, which means you need to have a 200-page plan in action, ready to go, that you execute on. You got Jimmy Sexton, who basically runs college football, and everybody else on the line, and your job is to make sure you get the coach that you want in time for signing day. Now, Matt Campbell is still out there in Ames, Iowa, so make the call, throw the brink truck at him. I think that'd be a great hire. But, you got the 156 recruiting class. You fired your coach in October. It's December 4th, and you still don't have a football coach. And you know what that means? That means you're punting on next year, too, because you're going to try to bring in a bunch of guys in the portal just to be competitive. You don't want to lose 52-7 to Northwestern next year, do you? Right? Or to Michigan State, rather, who just hired Pat Fitzgerald. Great hire, in my opinion. He got an iffy pass, but whatever. But Like just to be competitive and not get waxed next year against some of your top tier opponents, the next coach is gonna have to come in there and just bring in 30, 35 guys from the portal, right? And then you gotta so you're kicking the tires on next year when if you kept the guy that you had,
Yeah.
if you find another quarterback and reload and retool the way that he's done, you're probably in a position to compete for a national title again. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I think with them, this is what happened. You remember that scene in the first episode of The Wire, where Avon sits down D'Angelo, and it's like once he comes home from jail, and he's like, "Oh, so you want to go get all emotional, pull your gun out, and all this other," and it's just like
It got
you
emotional,
got
bro.
you got yourself in a position in a situation. You made an emotional decision based off some unforeseen results. And the only thing is, you don't have Uncle Avon to get you out of it, Penn State. Like, now you got to figure out how to get out of it. Good luck. That thing might go sideways down there, man.
It's about to get crazy, and people have been turning it down. Jeff Brom just turned it down.
He good.
The guy from guy from BYU turned it down.
BYU, the crumble
There's
cookies.
another crumble cookie.
Did you
Bro,
see James Franklin?
I did. I love the petty. I love the petty, bro. I love it.
Oh, I'm happy for that black man. I'm happy for that black man.
Bro, look what I just texted you.
And he in Blacksburg now instead of.
They said Coach Klein gonna be the new head coach of Penn State.
B+ higher. B+ higher.
South Central Louisiana State. Coach
I
Klein.
love it. Hey, even Ole Miss was like, we're not playing these silly games with y'all. We don't know if this man can actually be a head coach in the SEC, but you know what? We're gonna give him a chance, and we're gonna keep this roster together for the most part.
That's it.
And like sometimes it's that simple. Like
it's that simple, bro.
We overthinking this stuff. It's not a lot of elite. It's not a lot of elite human beings that can run organizations and corporations of that size at a high level anywhere in the world. Right. So then when you narrow it down to elite at something as narrowly specific as coaching football and dealing with young men, that package is even smaller. Yep. And most of these guys already got jobs. Kirby not leaving Georgia. Dan Lanning's not leaving Oregon. Mike Elko not leaving Texas A&M. I probably shouldn't put him up there yet, but that's how I feel about him. Marcus Freeman is only leaving Notre Dame for the NFL. Like, y'all just made a bad decision. They're going to be bad for a while. I'm sorry. I don't want to play this back a few years from now, but they got a bed they got to lay in.
I think they're going to be bad.
Well, speaking of coaches, Kurt Cignetti, up in, where is he at? Indiana. See, this is what I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. This is what you bums who wanted a long and expanded playoff have done. What has happened to the game I love? Because this Saturday is the most unanticipated, no one's really talking about, looking forward to, no heavy stakes are on the line, 1 versus 2 matchup.
1 versus 2.
In my life.
Bro,
in my life.
I'm gonna watch football. I'm gonna always watch football. And we come from a place when we say we hate what's happening is because we don't remember pre-BCS. At least I don't. So we grew up essentially watching BCS. 1 versus 2. You got a computer rankings. You got 3 different type of rankings. So it wasn't just the human element. I like that.
I did too.
Now,
bring it back.
I wish. Now, if you told me you'll have me if you said, you know what, 12-team playoff, we're doing straight BCS rankings. You might have me there. I'll be okay because it's not just people like you and I just talking like what we think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are you to tell me who the best team in the country is?
None of y'all really qualified to do that. But anyway.
And because they're not using the same thing. You can't just say eye test. You can't. You got to look at strength of schedule. You got to look at strength of record. You got to look at these things because we all know the preseason AP poll plays a huge part in all of this. Huge part. We all know, like it's like anything before week 7, the rankings don't even matter. So don't even
Mm-hmm.
rank anybody until the first 7 weeks.
Just cut
But
it out.
you saw what Florida State did.
Yeah.
Fluke game,
Yeah.
two two lower tier FBS schools. You're 3-0. You went 2-7 after that. You
Yeah.
just don't know until like the teams have put in a body of work. So we hate it because no one's talking about 1 versus 2. College game day is going to Atlanta or coming to Atlanta because I'm in Atlanta because it's Georgia, Alabama, and because ESPN, Disney,
It's a love
SEC
affair.
is just a love affair. But 1 versus 2 should be a very good game,
Yeah.
but it's not the SEC. So it's like, come on, man. Like where are the stakes? Either one of those teams lose. Alabama is the only team that's on the fence, which I still think they'll put them in. If they lose by 2 scores, they're out. I
Yeah.
believe. If it's a close loss, like 3 points, and I think they might still be in because it's Alabama. But 1 versus 2, one of these teams is losing and there's no repercussions. I don't like it.
None.
I
Even
don't
under
like
the
it.
4 team, which I did not like,
They still will be
Indiana
number 4.
Ohio State is a semifinal,
Yep.
right? Or is a quarterfinal. Winner is in, loser is out. Heavy stakes. Georgia, Alabama is a quarterfinal. Winner is in, loser is out. And then we
SEC
figure out
championship used to mean something.
it used to mean something, right? And then we figure out who 3 and 4 would be from there. But like now it's like this should be game of the century.
And plus, I didn't even mention this. Like, we're at the point where coaches, no matter what they say, I heard Kirby saying, it's the SEC championship. This is what we play for. Like, of course we want to win it.
It doesn't
We're at the point where who cares if you win the conference? Because I'm sure if Texas A&M didn't lose, Georgia would be sitting pretty at 4 or 5, regardless.
Yeah, they would prefer that. He won't
They
say
would prefer that. He won't say that. That's
we
what
get an
I'm
extra
saying.
week of rest, extra week of prep. We don't care. Anybody come see us as the 5 seed is getting mollywopped anyway. Let me get this extra week of rest. 100%. Kirby can't say that. But
if you move to the 4, it's an extra 2 weeks. So it's like, but that's what I'm saying. The conference championships don't even mean anything. Indiana, they care because they're in the game. But if they didn't make it, who cares? They would have been 11-1 and in the playoff.
Yeah.
So it's just that part sucks.
I realized last year for me, it was the first year of the 12 team, obviously, and there was a microcosm of just like, yeah, this sport has changed. It has irreparable damage, and it's never going back. And the outcome of the first 12 team playoff solidified that because Ohio State lost its biggest game to its biggest rival in upset fashion in an incredibly shocking way, and none of it mattered. Like,
None
period.
of it.
And you can say, oh, that's a rivalry game and we want to win. And yeah, sure, right? But they went on and won a national title. So now we got, I don't know how many, conference championship games this weekend. The only one of consequence is maybe BYU, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is in regardless. So really, it's a matter of whether or not BYU wins, and if they do, then who drops out, whether it's Miami, Notre Dame, or whoever. But it's a microcosm of just lamenting, like, the 2 biggest conference title games this weekend. Like, the most intriguing storyline is, all right, Alabama, you just can't lose by 2 scores. Like,
that's it.
And when did college football become that? Like, what is this, week 17 of the NFL now?
Like, think about it, it's kind of, it's making me upset because
it's sad, man.
It's just, it doesn't mean anything, man. And in the grand scheme of things, like I said, I'm still going to watch. It means something if these teams win, go on to play for a national championship, obviously. But the last week of the season is rivalry. Rivalry weekend. You got, Alabama doesn't beat Auburn. They're not in the SEC championship game. They're probably not even a playoff. Typically. Like, Georgia Tech hasn't been good for a while, but, Florida State, Florida, they haven't been good, but historically, that last game means something to probably, if it's out of conference, then you're not going to the SEC championship. But if it is, it's like, all right, I'm trying to go to my conference championship to win because I need that win to boost my resume to get into whatever, possibly the national championship. We don't have that anymore. Like, I remember, like, just hammering the floor, like, I like the 14 playoff because of that.
Yeah.
But people saying, everybody doesn't get a chance. You don't
Everybody
deserve
don't need
a chance.
It ain't that many good teams. It's never that many good teams in this sport.
We're seeing the same teams anyway. Who cares about giving a chance? Like, now, Georgia can't rest now. Now the SEC magically is going to 9 teams because they know they can get in. They can get more teams in. Every league should have 9 conference games. But now the SEC wants to because there's no repercussion. I'm going to play this extra game. If we lose, we can still get in with 2 losses. It'll always be at least 4 SEC teams with only 2 losses. Yeah. At least 4. So, yeah, the sport I love is gone.
Well, I mean, the ESPN Disney hype train is already talking about how Texas should be able to get in. Otherwise, they won't schedule as well. And I'm like, if Texas should be in, then you shouldn't lose to 4-8 Florida. All right, so that is what it is. I don't care. I don't want to hear anything else about Texas. They're not that good. Really, the biggest problem for me, one, is there's nothing to look forward to on conference championship weekend, which is kind of sad. But then the other is that now, like, we grew up in an era where, like, if you were USC, for example, and you had to go to Corvallis on Thursday night and the game started at 9
that was a problem.
Eastern, that was a problem.
That was a problem. Oregon State was, who cares what their record was? It was hard to win there. It was hard to win at Iowa at night.
Man.
No matter what their record is, we don't have that anymore.
We don't have that anymore. Like, national championship dreams used to go die in Corvallis in Iowa City. Yep. And it's just and East Lansing and Charlottesville a few times for Florida State, right? And and that's just gone. That's just gone. And now I guess it is. Like, I find myself trying to really hype myself up for this playoff because, like, even this time of year, I used to kind of be like sad in hindsight, like, dang, college football over already. It went by. But I can't say that this has been like this great year of football. Like, the stakes aren't as high. They don't really matter. You don't really like turn the channel and check out teams when the game is close until they have one loss, to be honest. Like, I didn't really do that with Oregon until, they had lost to Indiana. So, like, the game against Iowa was a good game, but I'm not really paying attention to teams until they have one loss, because if you keep that one loss, then you good. So it's just a matter, like, I'll put it to you this way, this sport is one of the more popular sports, and I think it's both our favorite sport because every single possession of every game used to matter. And I know they're saying, like, ratings are up and there's more intrigue and interest and so on and so forth. Like, so I don't think college football we're still gonna watch, but, like, I do lament that, like, folks generation behind, y'all are not gonna know this sport at its peak. And I say it's like that sport peaked on January 4th, 2005 in hindsight. I'm gonna say that forever. I might write a book about it. Like, we didn't know it, right?
I still remember, like, the end zone view. Like, everybody was on the field. Like, they were so close to the field. That's college football.
That's college football.
And when he nonchalantly just he literally walked in the end zone.
Waltzed in that joint. joint.
Some of y'all probably don't even know what we're talking about.
Waltzed in there. Well, Lincoln, a guy named Ben Young. And it's like, it's crazy. Like, and I know we sound like the old guys, and that's fine. But, like, talk to anybody. And we didn't know that at the time, right? But in hindsight, it's like, yeah, this thing that we love was the best it will literally ever be that night. And it's like a slow kind of trickle down here. Doesn't mean it's not fun. Doesn't mean we're not gonna watch. It doesn't mean we don't enjoy it.
Watch.
But, like, having a very clear point of, like, yeah, this is when this was the best. Like, you don't normally know that for so long as you still engage with something. And that's a sad thing, but it is what it is. All right, man. 12-team field. You want to run through yours? Or not even the field, just your top 12. Because I'm not doing all the, all right, because this group of 5 is in and all this other. I'm like, these 12 best teams plus my best 2 group of 5. Like,
So, you go first, but give me some, like, I was trying to go over the rules. So, like, as far as the conference champs, there's no way Duke is getting in if they win, right?
no. Well, no. Because then we might get 2 group of 5 teams in. Because it's just the
top 5 highest ranked conference champs.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so essentially, because I think Virginia was 16th.
Virginia was, they 17 this week.
So if they win, are they getting in?
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
just because they're the conference champs.
Because they're the conference champ, and I mean, that's a good question. I mean, beating Duke is not gonna like give you a bump. You're not gonna like drop down by beating Duke in the ACC title game.
Yeah,
in my opinion, but they should stay at 17. They might get a little bit of a bump. The highest ranked group of 5 teams in the playoff this week: number 24 North Texas, and number 25 James Madison. And I don't know.
Where's Tulane?
I'm sorry, Tulane is 20th. My bad. Tulane is the highest ranked. And North Texas and Tulane play one another. And what I actually think is the most compelling and exciting conference championship game this weekend.
I don't know. I can't remember the North Texas QB's name. He's going to make a lot of money at some Power 4 team next year.
Oh, buddy in North Texas?
Yeah.
Metzemeyer.
Bruh, he's been on a heater. He's going to be on a heater. Wouldn't surprise me if old Lane pick him up.
Oh, man, I hope he stays. And the other thing, like, we would have had a mid-major elite pro prospect to watch.
See, look, we don't even think about matching football anymore.
No, that used to be the man.
See?
Tuesday, Wednesday, watching Northern Illinois and Bowling Green and Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
Man.
So, okay. If we're talking about Tulane, North Texas. Tulane is 20, North Texas is 24.
Yeah.
So you have to take the highest group of 5 member. Because see, the rules are so confusing because last year it was easy. Boise State was up there.
Yeah.
So it was easy to rank them. So if we're saying the highest conference champ in a group of 5 is going to make the playoff, then they're going to be at 12.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the top 5. I mean, the top 5 conference champions.
They're for sure making it.
So, yeah, because the winner of North Texas and Tulane is going to be ranked.
Okay, so I think North Texas is going to win that game, but I don't know. So if we're talking, as far as seeding, they're going to be at 12 for me, but they're making it.
Yeah.
That leaves. You said what?
2.5 point favorite.
2.5 point favorite. So you're talking about North Texas. So right now, BYU is 11. So, okay. Alabama 9, Notre Dame 10, BYU 11, Miami 12. Miami, Notre Dame don't play this week. So Notre Dame is in the best spot because they're at 10 right now. So you're talking about Miami's at 12, BYU is at 11. I think BYU is losing that game. So they're sliding down. Miami's at 12. So that literally leaves 2 spots. Because unless Alabama gets beat by 2 scores, I don't think they're moving. Yeah, so that brings in one of the group of 5 members, Tulane or North Texas. Now you have 1 spot left. And I think that's Virginia.
If they win.
If they win.
If they win.
So
if Duke wins, the ACC is just out. I think
they're just out.
Yeah.
So if Virginia wins, we're looking at the same top 10 plus UVA and my pick, North Texas. However you want to. Now, if Alabama beats Georgia, which, that's my pick, but, who knows? I think they flip flop because you beat this team twice. Georgia will be they're ranked number 3 now, so I feel like Alabama jumps into that top 4.
Top 4, yeah.
Whether you put them 3 or whether you put them 4 behind Texas Tech, but Ohio State, Indiana, one of them is getting out of there. I think it's Indiana. I think it's going to be a great game.
Really? If it's a great game, is Indiana out of the top 4?
Only because I'm thinking Texas Tech is winning, and I'm thinking Alabama is jumping Georgia.
Okay.
Oregon is idle. So I don't know. Either they're going to be 4 or they're going to be right at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking based on my predictions.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, if it's a close game, I think look. First of all, I don't trust the committee, and I don't think they make good decisions. And their explanations for things is even worse, right? Like it doesn't hold up to the logical scrutiny of a 4-year-old who knows nothing about knows nothing about logic games. But anyway, if it's a close game, I think Indiana should stay in the top 4. If they get boat race, then
Bro, they're a great football team.
They're great football. Like you're not gonna blow even Ohio State. They're not gonna blow Indiana out. And Indiana, I was talking to some of my homeboys about this earlier in the year. It's just like, yeah, y'all can let all that. Oh, Indiana, this and that. No, this is a different football team. When they got on the field with Notre Dame last year, it was clear Notre Dame just had better athletes. Okay, so what did Kurt Signetti go out and do in that portal this year? Added a pro quarterback and some better athletes on the outside. One thing these Big Ten programs are always going to have is some grown men pro prospects in the trenches, especially along the offensive line. So, and I don't know if y'all haven't watched Indiana, but them guys they got at wide receiver going to play in the league for a long time too. They got some talent.
If they win, I won't be shocked.
Yeah. We got 12 teams. Not all 12 of them are going to have a chance to actually win a national title. I think there are actually a handful of them. And Indiana is definitely up there. I've had Indiana number 1 since they went on the road and beat Oregon. I got Indiana, Ohio State 1, 2, Georgia 3. I got Oregon at 4, Texas Tech. The crazy thing is I got Notre Dame at 6. And I know people are like, how? I don't do this thing to where we got to slot 1-loss teams above 2-loss. No, I don't care, bro. I've watched that team. The advanced metrics back it up. They lose the first 2 games each by 1 score.
Should have beat Texas A&M.
Should have beat Texas A&M. Had some mishaps here and there. Cool, I get it, right? That's one of the best teams in the country. And if you were asking me to rank national title contenders, I'm going to have a hard time putting anybody above Notre Dame, and I include Ohio State in that. That's just me. I got them at 6. And then 7, Oklahoma. Yeah, they got 2 losses. I got A&M at 8. Yeah, they only have 1 loss. Oklahoma can't really play any offense. And John Mateer has not been the same. But this is what happens with playoffs. When you got to travel on the road, which as these teams in first round are going to have to do, and then now you don't have this 3-4 week time period to prepare for teams the way you did before. I would never give Oklahoma a shot to win a national title, even in a 4-team year, because you got that 3.5, 4 weeks, and then you got like 10 days between the national title game. But that Brent Venables defense gonna carry. It can go anywhere. I got Alabama at 9, Mississippi at 10. 11-1, they'll make the playoff. I think there's a little bit of a ding for the coaching situation that's there. And then Vandy and BYU. I think North Texas beats Tulane by a thread. I know North Texas wish they wouldn't have slipped up that game earlier in the year against South Florida. Otherwise, things would be a lot different for them.
I wish Vandy could get in.
I wish Vandy could get in. They deserve to get in. I think they are one of the best 12 teams in the country. They probably won't because people are still holding on to this idea that Miami is a good football team. And I know some of you are like, how can you say Miami's good? They beat Notre Dame. That was a long time ago. When they beat Notre Dame, it was 92 degrees outside where I live. It snowed this morning.
And C.J. Carr's a redshirt freshman, right? That was his
first start.
Terrible in the first half. Was great in the second half. Miami is, I don't even like to say this, but they're lucky it wasn't more time because he started clicking. He started figuring it out.
He did. Just ran out of time. And look, if it was an apples to apples, right? If I thought they were even remotely close, then yes, you give it to the head-to-head. I'm saying Notre Dame is that much better of a football team right now than Miami, to where that doesn't even come into play. Like if they played this Saturday, I think Notre Dame would win by 17 points. So I think that matters. Hey,
So that's the one thing committee is getting right, in my opinion.
there it
And
is.
that's not me being a Miami hater, which I do hate Miami. But just looking at the brand of football they were, how they play and how they've been winning, like it just I don't know, it's more impressive.
Yeah, I don't hate them as much as you do, but it's just that's a boring team to watch play football. I don't think Mario Cristobal is actually any good at coaching either, but that's a different
Bro,
conversation
it's
again.
it's literally give the ball to 10. That's Malachi Tony's number, right?
Mm-hmm.
10.
Yeah.
Like find a way to give it to him. Because when all else fails, they just do that.
What a great scheme.
Man.
You want to talk some pro ball? You got time? They got to get back to your family.
Yeah. What we got?
You know, we talked about this a lot um, in years past, to where in any given decade, especially in the AFC, it's going to be at least 1 year, maybe two, but one. I've been saying this forever, to where you're going to catch the right kind of breaks between
Yep.
injuries, between scheduling, between luck, between whatever, to where it won't be Burrow, Jackson, Mahomes, or Allen representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. All right. It's
I
only going
believe
to happen
that.
once every 10 years.
Yeah.
If you
This might
Denver,
be the year.
if you Houston, if you Jacksonville, if you the Chargers, you better do it this year,
Better.
because I've seen Lamar Jackson come back from injury and have one of the best seasons in the history of football. I've seen Patrick Mahomes run for his life and not be clicking, and then make it click again. We've all seen Joe Burrow come back from an injury and look like the second coming of Tom Brady and John Elway, which he did Thursday night. I was there. I'm still sad about it, but anyway.
Sick.
And Josh Allen is Josh Allen. So like, hey, if you're the Broncos or the Jaguars or the Texans or even the Patriots, I'm not. Look, I think Drake May is good. They got a franchise quarterback. I mean, they got a starting
Haven't beat
quarterback.
anyone though.
I'm still not sure he's a franchise quarterback because they haven't beaten anybody, they haven't played anybody, and he hasn't won a playoff game. If you New England, Denver, Jacksonville, Houston, you better get it done this year, because I will bet the house on them four guys coming back with a bone to pick next year. Almost like a little secret pack. Like, that was cute what y'all did last year, but this is still our league and our conference. It's between us four, right? Y'all can go sit down somewhere. It's just a weird year. It's a weird year. I don't remember a year this weird since like maybe 2005.
This is
06 when
just
the Bears went to the Super Bowl
yeah.
with Rex Grossman.
It pains me, bro. It pains me to watch, just because we're Ravens fans, and Bills, they can't stop the run. Magically, they score 40 points in the comeback win week 1. Whatever. They can't stop the run. They can run the ball. Josh Allen, they can't protect Josh Allen. Receivers are in and out. Chiefs finally look human.
Finally.
And they have all starters back.
Yeah.
But the league is just like, we're not as scared of y'all anymore. That's what it comes down to with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just you go in the Arrowhead or you see 15 across from you, and you're just like, we're not winning this game. Joe Burrow misses 2 months. Was supposed to be 3, but their defense wasn't going to allow them to win anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And Lamar, come on now. He runs all the time. Now you have a hamstring injury this year. When the defense starts playing better, all of those things, which you should have started Snoop from the beginning. You probably would have a 2-game lead over the Steelers, but whatever. I think they're still going to win the division. And what's the 4-5? 4-5, you're probably going to play Los Angeles. I was about to say San Diego. You're probably going to play the Chargers, which
no fear.
you should win. That's what I'm saying.
Come on.
So, like as you said, Jacksonville, which they're in the top of that division now because the Colts been, Danny Dimes has been looking like who he is.
What do you know?
Right? But that's AFC South might sneak 3 teams in.
They might.
Because the Texans are playing well. I'm happy for that brother down there.
Yeah, I got no beef with them.
No. But yeah, it's a weird year, man. But I hate it because I'm a Ravens fan. I like it because of the parity. Like, you truly don't know. As long as if Patrick Mahomes gets left home, like, It's going to make my year, which I don't
Glorious.
believe the Ravens are going to make it. I hope they do, of course. But if he's left at home, I'm going to love watching these playoffs. I'm going to
Yeah.
love looking at Nick Wright's Twitter feed and
I hate
just,
that guy.
I'm
I
going to
hate
love
that
it.
guy.
Now, on the NFC side, another weird year because the 2025 Eagles are the 2024 Chiefs.
That's it.
They were just winning games, and everybody knew they weren't that good, but they just kept skating by. The Lions regressed. Cowboys look like they're coming up. I think the best team in the NFC to me, who I would not want to play in the playoffs, probably the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, buddy.
It's
That's it.
just you got to go to Lambeau. You got Jordan Love. He has some stinkers, but he's a solid guy. You got that pass rush. You stop the run. It's gonna be a hard out in the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
Especially if they get the 1 seed.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's a weird year though.
It's a weird year. Yeah, to just sort of piggyback and close the loop on the NFC. I don't really like any of the teams. I don't think any of them are that good. Um, I include the Rams in there. Matt
Yeah,
Stafford's playing amazing, but it's just something about that. Like I watched them against Baltimore when Lamar was out earlier in the year, and I've seen some other games. I'm just like
something
something
about
seems
pass
off.
happy teams.
Yeah,
If that's all you do, you're having success. But if that's all you do, that's the only way you're winning. It just doesn't. It's historically it doesn't translate into playoffs. It just
like you
doesn't.
gotta give. Yeah, you gotta give me some balance there, and like you know, it's just not. It's there's not that many good teams this year. Like
No,
I'd have to look at the data, but this seems like a unique year where like these bad teams are bad. Like the Saints are terrible. Like
Jets
the
are the Jets, but they're terrible.
they're terrible. Like the Browns are
Giants,
terrible.
terrible.
The Titans and the Giants are terrible. Like the Cardinals are terrible. Like there are always a few terrible teams in there, but historically speaking, like again, I had to look at the point differential in the data. But like just the eye test is like it's a lot of bad teams. And a lot of these teams, the Rams, the Seahawks, they are beating up on some really terrible
Some
teams.
really terrible
And
teams.
they're beating the Titans, they're beating the Giants, they're beating the Cardinals. Um, so I
Bro,
don't really trust anybody.
the entire top 10 in the draft, none of them may not. All of them may have 4 wins, 4 or 5 wins.
Which is crazy. Like 6 and 10 used to get you the fifth overall pick.
Right?
Like not this year.
Crazy.
Not this year. Like bro, the right now the Bengals would have the 10th pick and they've won 4 games. The Falcons are probably gonna go 5-12, and that pick's gonna convey to the Rams, and that's probably gonna be like the ninth pick.
Oh, that sucks.
Like
Well, I mean, they got their first round pick though.
they got that's James Pierce. You basically just
Yeah,
traded
yeah,
your first
yeah.
round pick next year for James Pierce.
Basically,
So
and he's
you
he's
know,
he's gonna be good. So it's all
yeah,
good.
they solid there. They need a quarterback. We'll have to talk about that later. I thought Penix might have been the guy, but them knees ain't gonna hold up. So um, best of luck with that. We people say we agree too much, but the only team that I actually care about in the NFC, I think it's a 2-team race: Packers and the Eagles. And I don't think the Eagles are that good, to be honest.
I just think
But
they have the pieces to. You just I expect an NFL team to figure it out, and they just have, bro. They have the pass rush. They can run the ball, or they have the personnel to run the ball, and they still got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Like I just expect once the playoffs happen. I'm not saying it's going to look spectacular, but it's hard to stop all of that. Like what they do travels in the postseason. So I'm just expecting it to happen. Now, am I going to be surprised if the Rams get them, the Packers get them? No, because of how they look. But am I surprised if they go to the Super Bowl? No, because Jalen doesn't have to do a lot. I don't know what's been going on with the run game, but you know, they have the best interior D line. They have the best D line in the league. So it's like, I don't know. I won't be surprised.
they reload like a college football team,
Yep.
which I hate. So yeah, that's the AFC. The Packers end with dang. All right. Chicago at Denver at Chicago, Baltimore at Minnesota.
Wait. What team is this? Who did you
Green
say?
Bay.
Green Bay ends with who?
Home against Chicago, at Denver, at Chicago, home against the Ravens, at Minnesota.
Okay.
The Bears are actually leading. They lead the NFC North right now. Half game
Yeah.
lead at what is that? 9-3.
I don't trust. No.
I don't trust them.
It's
And
I don't. Yeah.
we have good reason not to trust. This is not a 9-3 team. Their point
It's
differential is
not.
+6. They should be 6-6.
Yeah.
That's their literal Pythagorean expectation.
So now I think like they may split the Green Bay series just because it's division rivals, but
Yeah,
I don't expect them to win a playoff game.
nah, I
I
don't
don't.
either.
I don't trust them.
I don't either. And the main reason for that is, the games. First of all, anybody who loses 52-21 to anyone in the season,
Yeah.
I don't trust. And also, second of all, the only time I've seen J.J. McCarthy look like a competent NFL quarterback was in 2 quarters against the Chicago Bears in the first game of the
Terrible.
year. Since then, they've beaten Dallas, which, it's Dallas. They beat Vegas by a point. They beat Washington, New Orleans, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati, the Giants, J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings by 2 points, Aaron Rodgers' corpse, and they beat the Eagles on Black Friday. I don't trust it. At Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay, at San Francisco, Detroit. For them, they'll make the playoffs. They'll sneak in, then they'll get boat raced in the first round by whoever
Yep.
they play.
Yep.
So that's the Bears. Speaking of J.J. McCarthy, it's been a lot of discourse, a lot of conversation, a lot of talk. Oh, the Vikings made the wrong decision. They moved on from Sam Darnold too early. J.J. doesn't have the ability to be an NFL quarterback. What are we doing?
Bro, sometimes I feel like I just don't know what these people see.
Yeah.
Because there was no point in JJ McCarthy's career where he was even asked to like make a throw.
No, at Michigan.
Like
No.
that's what I'm saying. Like he was never asked, "Hey man, we're down. I need you to make a throw." Everything was schemed.
Yeah.
Everything. So I just I don't understand, man. It goes back to and this is another Vikings quarterback. Remember they drafted Christian Ponder
Christian Ponder.
in like number 12
Yeah, when
from Florida
Buffalo
State?
drafted E.J. Manuel,
Yeah. They had no
it
business
wasn't their fault. No
being
business.
top 15 picks.
No business.
And I think we get so caught up in, just the quarterback attributes and the traits. And I get it. You do have to have traits. But when did this guy show you consistently that he can do it consistently?
Yeah.
Because why are we drafting Anthony Richardson 4th overall? What are we doing? It's certain things like I'm like, are y'all serious? Do y'all have that much confidence in yourself that you can see a guy and think he can be something like completely different in a tougher league?
Yeah.
You're not saying, oh, I see this guy, he's doing it, and I trust that I can get him a little bit better, tweak some things, and he can do it again. No, he didn't. He probably never even threw for over 300 yards in a game. But he wasn't even asked to. So I'm like, I never saw it. Now, with the Sam Darnold thing, teams got to have they got to have some nuts, man. Because I don't care if you drafted a quarterback the same year.
Yeah.
If this guy's better, you go with that guy.
Go
Because you're
with
not paying that other guy any money.
Yeah.
He's not on let him be a backup. Now, I'm going to sign Sam Darnold. He had a 3-year extension, I think. If he's trash in year 2, you've developed this other guy. So it's like teams don't want to wait anymore. Like, you draft a quarterback first round, you got him for at least 5 years if you want him.
Yeah.
So why are you in a rush? But yeah, I saw it in college, or I didn't see it in college, so I don't know what they were doing.
I don't think they know what they were doing. He threw for 300 yards 3 times at Michigan, once in 2022 at Indiana, again in that college football playoff semifinal against TCU, actually, 343, which actually doesn't look as good in hindsight because he couldn't beat TCU and then got boat raced by Georgia, but we'll connect those
Right.
dots some other time. And then 335 against Purdue in his last year. Uh, it's actually kind of sad what they're doing to these guys because
It is.
like JJ didn't ask to be picked where he was picked. Neither did Christian Pond or EJ Manuel, Anthony Richardson, and it's clear like there are gonna be guys who go in the top 10 in this year's draft, and the only one of them I've seen make a collection of throws that I'm like, oh, that's a pro grown man throw. It's Fernando Mendoza. Even as much as I watched Todd Simpson, and he's made some spectacular throws this year, the
He
jury's
gets a
still
little
out.
happy feet
He
sometimes.
gets happy feet. He gonna escape that pocket before he needs to. I'm not quite sure if the progression is there the way it should be. And he's been balling. He might win the Heisman Trophy, but do I see like pro intangibles there? Not quite. And so we're gonna do this again this year with Dante Moore and Ty Simpson.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
those are just the two that come
I
to
hope
mind.
I hope both of them come back.
Yeah, I hope they both come back too because the problem who's gonna pick at the top of the draft? The Titans, the Giants, the Saints. Those are not organizations you want to go play football for. They're not going to put you in a good situation. And one of the things that gets lost in this all the time is just like, do people not remember Patrick Mahomes sat out for a whole year? Um,
A whole year.
Lamar
Aaron
made his
Rodgers,
first
whole year.
start, I think, in week 12 or 13. You know, Aaron Rodgers sat out, I don't know how many years. Um, Josh Allen was at least a big physical specimen who had a big arm and was
Yeah.
accurate. You can't really teach that. And also, we were talking about Josh Allen before he came out of Wyoming. Like there was
We
another
were.
year to sort of take a look at tape. And if you are going to emerge as like a top 10 pick from a school that's small, you should physically dominate everybody. And he physically dominated everybody in the Mountain West when he was at Wyoming. Um, all that full circle. I like JJ as a guy. Seems like a really great guy.
Hey, I was just talking about this with a coach. And this particular coach, he just he didn't do very well.
Yeah.
It was a head coach. And one of the guys was like, "Man, all I ever hear is so and so is a good guy." And when you start with that, that means he's not a good coach. It's like saying the white guy is sneaky athletic.
That's
That
facts.
means he's not a.
That's facts. Like nobody I work with in my profession starts with "I'm a really good guy." I take that as a
No.
compliment. All right. As a matter of fact, Frank can be a little bit of an ass. Great. That means I'm doing something right. Um,
You noticed that about me, and you still like me. So I know it's real.
exactly. JJ is just like intangibles, you know,
That's it.
and that's great. But can you put the back sort of fade right where Justin Jefferson wants it? He
And
just
he ready to crash out.
he,
He's still, I think, like top 5, top 7 in receiving yards this year.
he holding it together though. I respect it. His frustration is very palatable, but at the same time,
Hmm.
you can tell he's like I feel like Justin Jefferson is going home and like this man didn't ask for this, and he's just not ready for this, and y'all shouldn't have put him in this position. So I'm gonna keep my composure for this year. Now this offseason, Kevin, you better go get me a real quarterback. But it's
Hmm.
almost like he knows the impossible situation. Like that's what I'm assuming, but that's what I kind of get in the vibes and just like looking at him and his frustration because like you can tell he wants to boil over, but he's keeping it together because he's
Yeah,
like I'm not trying to show up this kid. Like I see him coming in here working every day, battling through the injuries. He just don't have the arm.
he
Like
just doesn't.
he just doesn't have the arm. And maybe he'll get it in a few years. But he just don't have it. And that's one of the things that's like, all right, dang, that's really unfair. To him. And like, it's the NFL. We ain't really in the business of fairness.
There's no fair or unfair because he's just got an extension, right?
Who, Kevin O'Connell? Oh,
Je-
Justin Jefferson.
no, 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 no. Jefferson. He
Oh yeah,
got
he got
paid,
paid.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he all
he
right.
got paid.
You
He's
know,
still gritty into the bank. You know,
he has all his carrots on his neck every game.
where it's
He's
like
good when he
3
gets home,
thick chains. Like I know them
bruh,
chains put on these 15 pounds.
bruh.
Uh, so he's all right. But I think we're gonna actually probably start seeing. And I think this is gonna be a byproduct of sort of NIL transfer, all this other stuff. These guys are not gonna come to the league as ready to play as they were before. They're not in the same systems with the same coaches
Mm-mm.
for 3 or 4, sometimes 5 years beforehand. Even Fernando Mendoza, if you want to try to draft him and play him in week 1 this September, I don't care what kind of situation it is, you're going to be in for it. He went from Cal to Indiana, new system. He's got pros at wide receiver, got some pros on the offensive line. You don't throw him in there because you're going to get him beat up and mess with his psyche,
Yep.
and it's all downhill from there. Um, that's the byproduct of this NIL era. You know, that honestly, this is a different topic, but the thing that's probably going to make college football get its life together is the NFL in the future, slowly putting pressure
Mm-hmm.
on them and saying, hey, we need our free minor league system back to keep giving us guys who are able to come into this league and produce from day one at a high level. And I kind of see that trickling off a little bit too. And I have to dive into a little bit of the data, but I'm not seeing a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of offensive linemen, except maybe Will Campbell, who's balling up in New England. But we're getting kind of
Mm-hmm.
less of these guys now. Skill guys, look, if you can jump and catch and just jump out the gym, that's not going to change, right? Receivers and DBs, I think, are always going to be able to come to the next level and just play well. But if you start getting quarterbacks who like, hey, this is a stinker. We've created a league that revolves around this one position. If college stops producing guys who can play that at a high level, that might be the only thing that gets them to actually sort of put some rules and some guardrails here. Stop paying $50 million buyouts. Hey, we need some stability.
Mm-hmm.
We need quarterbacks produced. All right, our
That's
game is
another topic
terrible
we
without
gotta.
it.
That's it's. I don't understand, but
Um, dang. All right, well, rest. Let me not. No, let me not say that. But his career in Minnesota is over.
yeah, it's not looking good because it's even if he comes back next year, if they start slow, now you're looking at if I'm Kevin O'Connell, bro, my job is on the line.
Oh, next year for sure. Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. So I'm not taking my chance if I don't believe in you now. If you haven't shown me this year, like you haven't progressed at all, I can't. No, I can't bring you back. I'm in that. I was about to say the portal, but I'm, loo- I'm looking at free agency. I don't know who's out there and whatever, but yeah.
Ready to go get Kurt Cochain or something. All right, man. Last thing. This is the year of the quarterback redemption tour, I guess. And people keep wanting to sell me on Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has since come back down to earth. I'm not buying it. I wasn't buying it before. I'm not buying it now. And he might
I
go
wasn't
out
buying it.
and right the ship and win 10 games. Let me ask
Yeah.
you. I'll ask you this. All right. If I tell you that the Colts end up going 11-6.
hmm
All right.
They'll be the Vikings last year. No, well, no. I was going to say they would be the Vikings of last year, but I think they can probably win a playoff game because of Jonathan Taylor, because they do run the ball well.
Yeah, if they play
Nah,
well.
if they play at home, of course. But if you're winning 11 games, you're probably playing at home,
Yeah.
unless do you think Tennessee is like 7-5 now, and Jacksonville I
Yeah.
think maybe 8 or 9 wins. So unless Jacksonville wins the division, I think the Texans. I don't know. I think that's a pretty big leap for them
Yeah.
to win that division. But if they have a home game, I think they can win a playoff game. Now, do I expect
Yeah.
anything after that? No, but only because I'm thinking about the running game, not asking Daniel Jones to do a lot. Running game, you're at home, defense flying around. They can probably get one.
Yeah. They are 8-4, tied first
Eight and
place with the
four.
Jaguars. I think the Jaguars have the tiebreaker right
Oh
now,
yeah,
and they
that's
play.
only a 1 game lead.
That's what a one
Never
game lead.
mind.
And the Colts Jaguars play this Sunday, and then they play again in week 17.
Ooh, I like it.
So it's a
See
lot of work to be
what
done.
we were talking about with college football. We're getting it in the
We
NFL.
getting in the NFL now. Fancy that. Look, Kyle, look at
The
you ready to shot
last
yourself in the foot, college football.
the last 5 weeks, because I know this, Ravens play the Steelers twice and the Bengals again.
That's it.
As you said, the Colts play 3 division games at least with probably 4. So that's what we need. It makes every game like you can't slip up.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you this. Are you taking the top of the AFC perch to represent in the Super Bowl, meaning Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati, or Baltimore? And I say that knowing Cincinnati is 4-8. I wouldn't count them out of it though. That's a different conversation. Or the field. The field, including
in the AFC, you mean?
Yeah. Granted, I think only 2 of them teams are. No, I think only one is in the playoffs right now. Kansas City would miss the playoffs if the playoffs started. I'm sorry, Baltimore would be in too.
Kansas City and Cincinnati are going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because Kansas City doesn't own the tiebreaker over Jacksonville, over I think there are 3 teams that are ahead of them. If I'm not mistaken, they lost to. So if it's even records, they're out. And they can't win their division. So what are they? 5-5 or 6-5?
Kansas City 6-6.
They're 6-6. And you have to at least win 10 games.
They're not technically out of the division. Denver's 10-2. But
they're not technically out, but I don't see Denver falling off a cliff.
I don't either. Nah.
So you're talking about division winner Denver. Kansas City has to win their remaining games. Plus, hopefully, the teams that they lost to already, they have to lose as well. I just think it's I don't know. I think it's a tall order.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, same thing. Cincinnati has to win the division. I think. Because they can't lose another game.
They can't.
So they have to win a division. And I think, the way the Steelers been looking, Baltimore hasn't been great, but I think Baltimore's going to win that division.
You see? Yeah,
I think both. Who?
The Bengals.
Who do they have?
Oh, man, I rock with my boys. At Buffalo, Baltimore, at Miami. They finish at home to Arizona and Cleveland. Yes, they have to win every single one of those games. But I just saw.
No, they might.
I just saw him slice and dice our boys in person.
You're right.
And they go.
They're 4-8. You said
4-8, and they going at Buffalo off the mini bye this Sunday at 1:00. I don't know, man.
They might win 5.
I don't know.
So really, they're in the same situation Cincy is. I mean, Kansas City. If they win, they have to win out. Because you're saying if they lose the second game to Baltimore.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they lose that game, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
But I can see them winning 5. I can see them winning 5 straight over Kansas City winning 5 straight.
Yeah. Yeah, that Bengals season ain't over. Meanwhile, up in Baltimore, Pittsburgh this week at Cincinnati, them last 3 games are brutal. Last home game hosting New England.
You said Green Bay, New England, and
at Pittsburgh.
Brutal. You better beat Pittsburgh twice. You better win these division games.
Because man.
If you win those 3, you're winning the division, I think.
Yeah.
Because
9-8 will win that division.
Yeah.
Which is why Cincy ain't out of it. Now they got to win every single game here on out.
Hopefully that defense does what they usually do and kind of, but they've been playing better, so I'm kind of scared of them.
They haven't played. Remember we said Al Golden was a high. I knew that was going to come around. I knew that defense. Took them a while. I knew that defense was going to come around. I'm gonna be the old curmudgeon and say that until I see all 4 of these guys out of the playoffs,
I'm going with them.
I think one of them is gonna make the Super Bowl.
I just think they're too good historically at playing quarterback. I don't think. Well, Burrow showed you it was just the defense was terrible. He wasn't playing bad this year.
No.
Josh Allen has been average. Patrick Mahomes has been average. Lamar's been average. Still,
That's putting it nicely.
Yes. Because what's crazy, the first couple games, well, I mean, before he got injured, before the KC game, he was playing well.
Oh, he was balling. He's been
But
terrible the last few weeks.
yeah, so, but I still, in a playoff scenario where you have to stop, you got a game plan against him and Derrick Henry, and just him being Superman. I'm still taking Lamar over, Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence,
over Drake May,
Justin Herbert.
Yeah. I mean, it's my own question, so it's a little bit of a homerism. And I wanted to say, yeah, I can rock with New England, or yeah, I think Jacksonville or Houston can get over the hump.
I just haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. And
I don't think Jacksonville. Out of the field, who do you trust most?
Trust the most?
Yes.
So I have to pick one.
You got to pick one.
Okay, because I'll trust any of them.
What? Okay, trust is the wrong word. Out of that field, who do you believe is the best team? Forget records. Who's built to win a Super Bowl?
New England.
That's most. It has to be New England.
That's a lot of faith in Mike. We talked about. I think Mike Vrabel was one of the best. I was very mad when he got hired by. I'm like, damn, they're about to be really good again for a long time. I hate y'all. Yeah. So they're in a lot of ways, and I haven't seen Drake May do it, right? He could be franchise quarterback, and then this is like a 5-team thing. They got the coach, and they might also have the quarterback combo. Yeah, it's New England, because you're gonna get your lunch pail, and now 11-2, you're gonna have to go up to Foxborough. Who knows what the weather is gonna be like? Yeah. So if I have to pick one, it's New England, which I don't want to see them in the Super Bowl, but
absolutely, absolutely not.
What about as we close? What do you make of Bo Nix and Sean Payton's apparent lack of love affair but commitment to him for now? It's almost like he got a nice side piece, but he knows that his main is like moving back to town in a few months, and so he's like, all right, I'm gonna keep whining and dining this one, but my main chick coming back, man. Because you can tell, like, I don't. He made some comments earlier in this year. I have to try to find him, but where he's clearly expressing a little bit of frustration around, the Bo's lack of ability to make certain throws. Throw him in the category of it not being his fault either. He should have never been the 12th pick in the draft. He never showed any signs of being a franchise quarterback at Auburn or Oregon, but whatever. Is Sean Payton enough? Does he still have enough juice to make them a Super Bowl contender? Because I don't see it either.
I think there'll be a hard out, but it has nothing to do with the offense.
Oh, that defense is nasty.
Man, that pass rush, nasty. Secondary, I don't know. Riley Moss just gets picked on, but
it's because he
makes plays at the.
I'm just.
He makes plays.
He do make,
but he gives up plays. So, yeah, it's because he's white. But I do think there'll be a hard out because you're going to have to go up there and play him.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix doesn't play the traditional quarterback way, but he gets out of the pocket. He makes a few good throws a game where you're like, okay, I can see them beating some really good teams. Do I expect them to win the Super Bowl? No. But pass rush, running game, mobile quarterback. If you don't have that, you're not winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You're not.
That's the biggest difference. That might be the only difference with Bo Nix and like a J.J. McCarthy, for example, is Bo Nix is not going to win you a game. You can't put a whole game plan on Bo Nix and say, go win this for us. In the same way all four of the guys we talked about can. And I think Drake will eventually prove himself to be able to do it. But you can tell Bo Nix, all right, we're going to put this on the back of our defensive running game. And I'm going to make 2 or 3 throws to win this game.
Yep, because that's all he's done all year.
He can do that, and so that's why I think makes them legit. Also, I mean, I don't I don't trust them. I still like the field, but also Nick Bonito looked like that man looked like Lawrence Taylor, man.
Man,
And I know what I
we need
said when I say that. Right? I'm not saying he
you
is.
but you brought up him. We need to have a whole Miles Garrett deserves his own segment, like an hour of
That
just
guy.
talking about how good he
That,
is.
it's like
I'm
we
so
watching.
glad Cleveland
I
sucks
know.
because they would be a problem.
We are
Bro, he
watching.
has 5 games left, 3 sacks to break the record.
It's crazy. He gonna do
I
it.
hope he gets 2 a game. I hope he shatters it.
He gonna shatter it.
I hope he gets 30.
He gonna shatter it. That's the sad thing. We watch him. Who honestly might be. He's definitely one of the best pass rushers in league history. He's gonna make a
Yeah.
solid case to be near the top, and like just wasting away. Ooh, yeah, he gonna break this record by 3 miles. You know why? They play Tennessee this
Who
week.
they have? Oh, Cam Roy. He holds the ball too much.
Oh, the ball. He might have
It's
4
going
sacks
down
this
this
week.
week.
Yeah, that, and then he gets to play Caleb Williams, who holds on to the ball too much too. So
Oh my God.
yeah, he gonna break it with 3 games to go, and then have Josh Allen. Oh, he's not gonna sack that much, but they got Pittsburgh on the schedule too. So yeah, he'll probably
Mm.
get 9 to probably 10 more sacks, and this record will never be broken for another 30 years. Cool. Cleveland trade this man so we can see him on a big stage. It's so sad.
That's
Anyway,
it. Please.
it's the All 22. We'll be back next week, y'all. Appreciate you.